We really need. Cloudy minds break free from the smoke. Be original, it's no mistake that you have spoke.
Yes, thank you all for tuning in with me today, tonight, or whatever time of the day you are listening to me. Yes, thank you all for tuning in. You are listening to the Creative Lips Podcast. Yes, guys, thank you all for tuning in. This is Self-Care Wednesdays. Yes, it is. Thank you for all the new listeners and all of the active listeners. Yes, I appreciate you all tuning in with me. Yes, guys. Yes, we're still making it through these weeks. Yes, and this is a special Self-Care Wednesdays for me today because, it's just something that I have been battling. Yes, definitely been battling. Today is, we're going to get into some topics, different things that, experiences that I have been through with how can we stay positive during trying times? How can we do that, guys? How do we do that? Yes, this is episode number 61, and we're going to get into that today, guys. Yes, I hope you're enjoying this song. This is actually my song, We Really Need. Yes, streaming on all of your favorite platforms where you get your music, your streaming music. So go check it out and support us, sister. Yes, guys. Yes. All right. So now let's get into it. Yes. All right. Now, so, I like to start off my podcast with, just like I always like to do, because I feel as though that it is a need to do it. I am in dire need to hear every day of my life, as long as the Creator allows me to live on this earth. I like to give myself, self-affirmations and words of encouragement, words that's going to get me through. You know what I'm saying? Get us through whatever trying times that is faced before us. So that who is ever listening to this episode, whatever situations that is faced before you, only you know what it is that is faced before you. I hope and pray that obstacle, that situation, that outcome will work out in your favor, and you will get out of that situation too. You will see that light at the end of the tunnel, and it will work in your favor the way that you want it to be made out in your favor in the end, guys. Yes, in the end, guys. Yes, I wanted to say that to someone who's ever listening to this tonight, today, or whatever time of the day you are listening to this. I hope that it will reach you, because that's what my Self-Care Wednesdays is about. And I chose, doing these Self-Care Wednesdays, to check in the middle of the week just to see that I am straight. You know what I'm saying? You don't have to do that, but that's something that I have been doing for years. Just checking in the middle of the week just to, to see that everything is going right. Just check in with my mental health. Mental health is needed. You know, it is definitely needed, for us to, check in, with ourselves. We need to check in with how we are doing on a daily basis. We need to do that, and sometimes we forget to do that, Sometimes we forget to do it. Yes, we do. Sometimes we do. And, with this, I don't know if you all follow the, Mercury retrograde stuff. Yes, we are in a Mercury retrograde this month, right now, all the way up until November the 3rd. Yes. Now, for those who do not know what Mercury retrograde is, I always say, look that shit up. Look it up, guys. Look it up. You know what I'm saying? Look it up. And you will be informed, about what Mercury retrograde is. You know what I'm saying? All right, guys. Now, before I start my episode, I like to always give, a disclaimer. Yes. I like to give a disclaimer because my Self-Care Wednesdays is basically going off of my own experience. Yes. My own experience and my own opinion too, as well. I am in no way, no shape, no form a licensed psychologist or a licensed therapist. So I just wanted to put that little bit, even it's not a little bit, a big disclaimer out there, just to let y'all know that. This is just my own opinion because I don't want people getting all bent up out of shape and saying, well, she said. No. Just on my own opinion, guys. And just like I said, my experience, wholeheartedly, truthfully, Yes. So, all right, guys. So now let's get into it. I normally give steps. You know what I'm saying? I normally give steps, and, I talk about, my experience with, the different things that I have been going through in my life. Yes, in my life, guys. But, it's like I said earlier, this is really special for me to talk about. It's not special in the case of, handling a lot of things during, trying times per se. But however, this is something that I have been battling for a while. And, I have been trying to find ways to try to overcome it, to combat it. You know what I'm saying? So, one of the very first things I started to work on consistently is this, in my own personal development by improving my whole outlook on life. No matter what it is faced before me, no matter what I am going through, sometimes in life, as of course, I am human, we are human. Sometimes I stumble backwards into that self-doubt. Yes, I do. And so this prompted me to do, some, a little bit of, some soul searching. And, some time ago I done this, just like I said, some time ago. And which was, of course, I've been going through a lot of things lately. We all have, and it caused me to dive deep into this topic. And I really wanted to talk to you guys about it today. So this is what I did. I started a step-by-step approach. I started a step-by-step attitude towards it. And that would help me over time become more and more stable, so that I could not only look at the whole picture, and also look at the world in a positive way, even during the good days. But also, I could stay positive and constructive even during those tough times. Those damn tough time, guys. Yes. And, it helps me. It helps me doing this. And it helps me keep working towards something better. And I'm going to get into talk about my own experience on this and how you can also stay positive in trying times. Now, with everything that is going on in the world today, you know what I'm saying? As we all can see, right before our eyes, with everything that is going on in the world, what can we do? How can we stay above the water? How can we do that? Sometimes, and in some situations, it's hard for some to stay positive, and at times knowing that, of course, the glass is half full too. My heart gets heavy, for those times, in my personal life, and also seeing other people's lives as well, who's hurting, just like I said, with what's going on in the world today, because I'm an empath. And once again, for those who don't know what an empath is, look it up. Look it up. I want you guys to do your own research. I know you are listening to podcasters and, you get some informative information, but I also want you guys to do your own research as well for yourself, because just like I said, everything I'm saying is my own opinion, and you can take it for what it is, but we all struggle in our own ways. You know what I'm saying? We do. We struggle. We struggle in our own ways. And sometimes, it could be, it could be anything. Only you know what it is. But I can give you some scenarios, okay? It could be like a nasty breakup or a divorce in my case. Other times it's deeply rooted family issues. That cycle that you're trying to break, that has, been haunting you for your entire goddamn life. You know what I'm saying? And you want to break that chain. You want to break that cycle. We all have a sad story. We all have been there, And once again, I found myself slipping into that cycle of despair. Yes. This last week, guys. Yes. I'm human. I am human. I am definitely human. You know what I'm saying? And the more I focus on the sadness, the less energy I had to give. And that was when I realized that a spirit of positivity isn't something to suppress. You know what I'm saying? It's not easy to suppress it. You know what I'm saying? It's not easy to not think about, trying to at least being positive when bad things happen. You know what I'm saying? And also, your misery, won't help anything too as well. So in that case, positivity Sure does. You know what I'm saying? It does. If you can incorporate it in your life. You see, just like I said, when your glass is half full, you have more to give to those who need it most without slipping into a place of lack. Yes. I have found that when I go too fast and when I try to think, talk, eat, and move around in this crazy, crazy world really quickly, then things don't go too well in my case. You know what I'm saying? Things do not go too well. Stress tends to build up all around me. Yes, it does. And then those negative thoughts, about just anything start to well up. Yes, they do. Yes, it does. They start to well up. And I just can't seem to shake it. You know what I'm saying? And then I feel my own personal power decrease and just minimize, you know what I'm saying, into oblivion, into wherever it goes. You know what I'm saying? But if I just take this time and just slow down just for a few minutes, just take those few minutes, a breather, just take that time. Even if I have to force it. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes we have to force that time out for ourselves. Sometimes I do this. I even, talk slower. I even eat slower. You know what I'm saying? And then my mind and body calms down too. Yes, it does. Yes, it does. It becomes easier to think things through clearly again, and easier to find the optimistic and constructive perspectives. If you do that, you know what I'm saying? You have to choose your time and what you put in your mind. Don't let blurred fears hold you back from doing what you want. Don't let it hold you back from being the best that you see yourself being. Just because, those trying times get in front of you. You know what I'm saying? Don't let it hold you back. Sometimes you may want to take a chance in life. You may want to, give that class a chance, or, start that new habit that feels unfamiliar. Like opening up your own business on the side, or a business, you know what I'm saying? Full-fledged, opening one, you know what I'm saying? Or even ask that person out on a date, you know what I'm saying? You never know. You never know how it would go. You know what I'm saying? A common trap when you want to do one of those things is to get lost in those blurred fears. Think about it. What could happen if, you know what I'm saying? What could happen if you actually took action and just did it? You know what I'm saying? Just think about it. What could actually happen if you do it? Think about it. It could be a wonderful thing. What could happen if you don't do it? You will never know until you put forth that action and do it. We have to have a frame of mind to try to think that what is the best outcome? What is the best outcome of anything that you put action to. We have to think the best out of it. You understand? And of course, so your mind runs wild, fueled by the fear if you don't do it. And of course, it's going to create the nightmare scenarios and plenty of self-doubt that's saying that, damn, coulda, shoulda, woulda. You don't want to do that. Just think about it. What is the best outcome if I do it? You know what I'm saying? What is the best outcome? You know, I've been there. I've been there many, many of times. You know, so I have learned to ask myself this honestly. What is the worst that could happen? Okay, I'm going to say this again. What is the worst that could happen? But what is the best outcome if you put your action to it? Yes. When I have figured that out, I had to sit down and really figure this out. That I also spend time on trying to figure out what could I have done if that often, if that often situation, that situation is put before me, pretty unlikely if I can put it in a perspective. What is the best outcome, guys? Now, when you choose to spend your time with and the input you get by just incorporating, good things in your life, by trying to make a huge effort and trying to diffuse, all of those negative thoughts and the fear, trying to, get further away from thinking about, positive thoughts and making it an essential part to have great influences in your life that support you and lift you up instead of dragging you down. So carefully choose who you surround yourself with too as well. So if you carefully choose who you surround yourself with, then, of course, it could be just filling out a person and just making sure that, that person has your best interest at heart and who is also a good listener and who will listen to you wholeheartedly and fully. What are the 3 most negative things, that people spend time with, and you can also ask yourself these things. What are the 3 most negative sources of information that I spend my time on? Not just being around negative people, and you can also feed yourself with negative things that you watch on TV or the internet and magazines and books or whatever. Consider those answers and then think about how you can start spending less time with one of those people or information and sources sometime during your daily routine, and how you can spend more of the time you have now that you then thought about all those negative people and things that you incorporate and feed yourself with. You done freed up so much of time that you can incorporate it with positive sources or people. Just like I said, surround yourself with positive people in your life. And also quit considering yourself as a victim. We always want to play that victim mentality. It's easier to assume the role of a victim during tough times too, as well, than taking responsibilities for yourself. But doing so only encourages negativity, whether it be in your actions or in your thoughts. Yes. Consider it, guys. You know what I'm saying? And of course, by letting go once again of that victim mentality, you free yourself from resentment, bitterness, and other sour emotions, which will only prevent the positive and creative thoughts that will boost your mind. You know what I'm saying? It will boost your mood. It will help get you out of that negative thought and negative situation, guys. Perspective is the key. That's what I learned. I learned to have a good perspective on a lot of shit in my life. You know what I'm saying? Especially when you went through a lot of shit. You know what I'm saying? Just like I always say, I have been through a lot of stuff in my life that, people cannot walk in my shoes. Honestly, I can honestly say that. Honestly. If you're in a bad situation, odds, of course, guys, it's not permanent. You know what I'm saying? It's not permanent. Reminding yourself that you're just a need to hang in there just a little bit longer. Yes, just a little bit longer can help you get through it. You know what I'm saying? Ask yourself if this will matter a month. You know what I'm saying? A year from now. Sometimes things seem crucial as fuck, man. It does in the moment, in that heat of the moment. But might be unimportant even just a few days after that, guys. Just think about your past drama. Just think about all the shit that you've been through in your life. Think about it. I mean, some people don't want to think about it. We don't need to, right? Because it's the past. When you leave the past behind and even know in the present moment that this feeling won't last. Think about it, because you don't want to think about the past, right? Right. Because it won't last. It can help to remind us that time heals and life goes on. Trust me, it does, guys. Yes, it does. You know what I'm saying? You're listening to this right now, right? Yes, time will go on. Whether you're listening to this tonight, today, a month from now, a week, whatever, it will. Time will heal. And time does go on, guys. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, so, I just really want you guys, to really focus on that. You know what I'm saying? See, let me tell you this. Science has found that gratitude is good for your health and helping to release positive chemicals in your brain, guys. Yes. It reduces anxiety and depression, and it improves your sleep. Lord knows I needed to get some sleep after all the shit that I've been through. You know what I'm saying? Honestly, I did. And I got some good sleep once I let it all go. And what I did was I created a gratitude journal. And I found that writing in this gratitude journal, yes, writing occasionally, once or twice per week I did, that it was more beneficial than some people say, write in your journal daily, write every day in your journal. Yes, in fact, that it was a study that was found that people who wrote in their gratitude journals once a week for 6 weeks, reported boosting happiness afterwards. For people who would write 3 times per week didn't. You know what I'm saying? We adapt to positive events quickly, especially if we constantly focus on them, guys. Yes. When you also write in your journal, if you decide to do this, this is one thing that I did. I focused on the people to whom I was grateful for, because this gave a big impact than focusing on things for which I was grateful for. Like those materialistic things, you know what I'm saying? I tried to record the events that were like unexpected, like surprises and stuff like that, as these tend to draw out stronger levels of gratitude, Now, practice makes perfect, guys. Practice makes perfect. And remember that saying? Remember? Being positive doesn't come naturally to some of us, Some of us, it's, it takes some time, if not most of us, Practicing being thankful is no different than practicing anything else. The more you do it, the more manageable it becomes. And the better you get at it. If you just keep on applying that, on a daily basis. Other things you can do, guys, don't underestimate the power of going for a walk. Don't. Take the time out to do it. This is my favorite weather. Sweater weather. Favorite time of the year. I love autumn. I love the fall equinox. I love it. Because, walking can boost your vitamin D levels. You know what I'm saying? It can make you even happier. You know what I'm saying? And some might want to get some vitamin D. Some might even need the vitamin D. If you know what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying? But however, it makes you happy and it gives you energy. You know what I'm saying? Yes. There's nothing wrong with needing the help to stay positive, guys. There's nothing wrong with needing that help. Me, I like to watch funny YouTube videos or funny clips. I do. And just like, I always say, I'm in here in my room and my children, if they're here, they always hear me laughing. They like, Mom, you okay? I'll be like, yes, I'm just laughing. I'm enjoying myself. You know what I'm saying? Finding a reason to laugh, even if you have to force it a little, could make all the difference in the world. Because laughter is another stress reliever as well. That improves your mood and promotes healing, no matter how bad things are. We can try our best, try our best to find that pocket of time, that we can do that, even if we can, just, if you can't laugh, take that walk, because there's always a bright side to life, guys. It is, no matter what it is, honestly, it could be anything, you know what I'm saying? It could be anything, guys. I just wanted to just say that, surround yourself with the most, positive people in your life, as I stated before, because when life and work is stressful, it can be hard to stay positive on your own. And if you surround yourself with, all of that negative energy, like times when, you get bad news, it can be consuming your soul and your mind, but that's okay if we can't find that person or that thing, whatever, because life isn't meant to be perfect, guys. No, it's not. So when you get to that point of tumbling backwards, like I stated before, down that hole, focus on the solution. Focus on the solution, guys, not the problem. Because stressing yourself out and feeling upset will only make things worse. Here's another interesting approach. Don't view your problems as problems at all. Look at them as obstacles to tackle. Look at them as something that, okay, this happened to me. All right, I got to get through this. I got to figure out how I'm going to get through it and get over it and get out of it and overcome it. We only get one life, and life is short. So, we should enjoy it as much as we can, guys. All right, guys. Now to the number one tip that I got from this. Yes, the number one tip is staying positive when times are tough is easier said than done. Yes. You may find yourself spiraling into a negative self-talk patterns or unable to think of good things that are happening in your life. However, learning how to be positive, especially during difficult times, can help you mentally and physically. You can train yourself to be more positive, although we all are born with a certain temperament. You know what I'm saying? I know I am. Incorporating the above techniques, as I mentioned, guys, to feel more optimistic can help you feel more grounded. Yes. When difficult times arise, you won't see a dramatic change overnight, guys. Yes, you won't. But slowly, if you're interested in adding into these positive mindfulness techniques can help you reset, recharge, and train your thought pattern in your brain to be in the present moment, guys. Yes, the present moment, which is good for your mental health and your soul. Yes, guys. Yes. All right, guys. So now there you have it. That was episode number 61 on my Self-Care Wednesdays. Yes, guys. Yes. I hope those tips and, I just hope those techniques, from my own experience and my own opinion helps you guys. I hope it does, guys. Because, just like I said, we're in trying times right now. And we need all the help that we can get. You know what I'm saying? And yes. All right, guys. So now if you enjoyed this episode of Self-Care Wednesdays, and also if you have any tips or anything that you would like to hear on my Self-Care Wednesdays, by all means, send me an email at CreativeLipsPodcast creativelips.podcast@gmail.com. And also, guys, yes, support a sister. Yes, help my Instagram grow. Yes, help this channel grow. Help this podcast grow by subscribing to my Instagram. Yes, subscribe to a sister. You know what I mean? Come on now. Subscribe to a sister on Instagram at CreativeLipsPodcast. Yes, and also, come on. Leave me that 5-star rating and also leave me a review. Yes, guys. And also follow me on Twitter. Because you want to know what, guys? I post stuff there too. Yes, I do, guys. Yes. Until next time.
Elevate your mind. Really need to celebrate. Really need to educate. Really need to elevate. Really need to celebrate. Really need to educate. We really need to elevate. March on to the call. We stumble, we fall. March on to the call. We stumble, we fall. March on to the call. We stumble, we fall.
You are now listening to episode 61 of the Creative Lips